On the issue of the possibility of prosecutions, New York State Attorney General Andrew Cuomo reported to your committee that before Merrill Lynch merged with Bank of America, they paid 4 execs a total of $120 million in bonuses, seemingly on a schedule designed to keep it off the Merrill balance sheet and keep it on the Merrill balance sheet, not the B of A one. Is there something potentially criminal there, do you think? Is there some way to recoup the money?
I don't know. If you read the letter carefully, as I did, obviously, he does not say that the Bank of America knew about it. He raises a question as to whether they did. It is very disappointing behavior on behalf of John Thain of Merrill Lynch. By the way, people should know John Thain would almost certainly have been John McCain's Secretary of the Treasury. Phil Gramm was his original pick, but that became too ridiculous even for the man who picked Sarah Palin. So his fallback was John Thain. John Thain appears, from what Andrew Cuomo has said, to have known that Cuomo was looking at this and to have deliberately moved it up so he got it out of the scope of Cuomo's investigation. And I honestly don't know. Clearly, there are 2 levels, of course, of prosecution. In effect, there can be civil prosecutions where people get fined and have to do some disgorgement, as we call it, which is a fancy word for give it back, or there might be criminal work. As I said, our focus, of course, is on either of those, but our focus is on the public policy. And again, I am encouraged when people speak as they do and they kind of clean up their pasts, they're acknowledging that they can't keep doing what they're doing, and we got some very explicit commitments that there's going to be better behavior in the future. And what backs it up is this, right? Because we're not asking anybody to trust anybody. The Obama administration understands, these bankers and others understand, some of them are from the investment houses, they're going to probably need more resources to get the credit system working. And they are not going to get them unless there is a very radical change in behavior, unless the promises they made today to be good about compensation, to re-lend the money, to stop the massive foreclosures, if they don't live up to those, then they understand that's the end of the road.
Should they be constrained from doing those things by rules rather than just being shamed for when they don't do them?
There's no question about it for the future. Look, there's a problem in the American system, and we as liberals should be honoring this. The principle that you don't go back and do things retroactively is a very important liberal principle. So some of the things that the Bush administration let them do, we cannot undo. We can prevent them from going forward, and this I can guarantee you. We will very soon be adopting a set of regulations. We're going to be doing essentially now what Franklin Roosevelt had to do in the New Deal, what Theodore Roosevelt and Woodrow Wilson had to do around the turn of the last century. There's a whole lot of new financial activity that's gone on that's caused some damage. It's done some good, but it's gone on without rules. And the one thing I am most confident about is we know how to stop this from happening again. Banning the bad subprime loans, restricting the excessive kinds of leverage they've had. Yeah, this is a very high priority for us, and I think by the summer we're going to have a set of rules in place. It's going to be comparable, I think, to what FDR did with the New Deal, with the Securities Exchange Commission and other rules. We will not depend on their goodwill. We will put some tough rules in place.
Expect that to be quoted frequently as people absorb your message there, sir. Democratic Congressman Barney Frank, Chair of the House Financial Services Committee, thank you so much for your time tonight. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
The House's top banking overlord just said by this summer he will create new regulations comparable to what FDR did with the New Deal. Right here. That just happened. I think we just made some news. Okay.